So we're here to do a video today on the TDC capacitor discharger. So it arrives in a nice little box for you to keep it in, normally in another box. And then we've got the capacitor discharger unit itself. It's got a couple of LEDs on it, indicator lights. Can do 5 to 10,000 volts. No polarity discharge, so it doesn't matter which way around you connect the items. And the discharge is completed, so when you touch the probes onto the capacitor and the light comes on, once the light goes off, then the discharge is completed. It's quite a nice little palm size unit. We've got a couple of probes. Nice long lengths of lead, so that's good. Nice little protectors. Same again on that one. And then the probes, they've also got two little caps and they're quite sharp, so you probably do need to have those on there. But I have to say, I think these little bits, nice little touch. So if we plug into the unit, right in there, and put black in there. Let's put it around that way. Right, let me just set something up for us to discharge, and you'll see the principle of operation. Oh, almost forgot. There's also these, which appear to fit on the end of here, which then allow you to clip the probes onto a capacitor or something, and then you could just leave them hanging there, discharging away as you go. They're quite good, and also you get the two. So I've got this power pack sitting on the bench at the moment, and this will appear in a future video, but this capacitor here, what I'm going to do is we're going to discharge. Oh, this board's all loose. Not even held in place, is it? Okay, we'll have to have a look at that. Anyway, that's something else. I'm going to discharge this capacitor here and show you how the probes work. So if you wanted to take this out, you would then know it's safe to handle that capacitor because there is no charge in it whatsoever. So coming around the board, that pin there and that pin there, these are the pins for the capacitor. And as it says, there's no polarity in discharge. You can either put the probes around that way or around that way and touch them on, it doesn't matter. And then your indicator light will come on if there's anything in the capacitor, and then slowly get dimmer and dimmer until the light goes off, and then you know it's out of juice. So let me get set up and we'll see whether we can get this capacitor to discharge. So let's have a go, see if there's any power in it, see if any lights come on. So the light's on, we're discharging, it's getting dimmer, dimmer, dimmer. The light's gone off now. That means there is no more power in that capacitor. So as you can see here, I can bridge that with my finger, no electric shock. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that board is pretty safe to handle for me. There might be one other little capacitor, there's normally two, but that probably would have discharged itself, to be honest with you, but that's the principle. And the reason why I'm sticking this video in the middle of the Bremi video that I'm working on is because obviously inside that thing there was some rather large capacitors, sort of like the one I'm holding here, which is something else that I'm working on. And you seriously don't want to go messing around with these because the voltages in these can be lethal. So, hence why I've done this quick video and put it in. So if any one of you are going to take the risk and go working on your Bremis, you know that you need to have a capacitor discharger because those 200 microfarad capacitors in the Bremi have got 500 volts on them. You certainly wouldn't want to touch that unknowingly thinking the capacitors are discharged. So as I say, put your probes back on there now, no lights on here. That's a really good little device. And these are readily available on eBay, and it's a nice little unit. There's no battery inside here that I'm aware of, and as I say, it does 5 to 1000 volts, so it will more than cover what you need to do on it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It's only a little short one, but it's an important one because you don't want to go messing about with big capacitors still with charging them, not knowing whether you've got any voltage in them or not. So as I say, any problems or any queries or comments or anything, please post below, and if I can help I will. I'm not affiliated with this company, this is me. I went out and brought this because I knew I had the Bremi coming up and I didn't want to go messing in there without making sure those capacitors were discharges, and that's what I've brought it for. But for things like power packs and things like this, even with smaller capacitors, it's really handy to have, because you touch them probes on and you immediately know whether potentially it's safe for you to handle the capacitors. Right, that's it. Please feel free to leave a comment. Hope you enjoyed the video.